Okay, State, are you ready? Defense, are you ready?
Defense is ready on
Ms. Bill, if you can bring the jury in. Yeah, everyone please stand. You may be seated. Jefferson County Court Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number M327-588. Case is style of State of Texas versus Aaron Jernigan. Let the record reflect that Mr. Jernigan is present in court with his attorney, Attorney Giles Cole. Let the record also reflect that the state is present with Assistant District Attorneys, Attorney Haley Simmons and Attorney Andrew Hubel. Let the record also reflect that the jury is now present and seated in the courtroom. State, are you ready?
It's ready, Ron.
Okay. Defense, are you ready?
It's ready.
Okay. At this time, Mr. Jernigan, will you please stand as the state reads the information? State, you may proceed.
In the name and by authority of the state of Texas comes now the undersigned Assistant Criminal District Attorney of Jefferson County, Texas, on behalf of the state of Texas, and presents it into the County Court at Law of Jefferson County, Texas, that in Jefferson County, Texas, Aaron Jernigan, hereafter styled the defendant, heretofore on or about September 2nd, 2020, did then and there intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly cause bodily injury to Kayla McCarty, hereafter styled the complainant, by slapping and punching complainant about her face with his hands, against the peace and dignity of the state.
Okay. Mr. Jernigan, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay, you may be seated. State, would you like to make an opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you may proceed.
You know, yesterday, that very first question I asked y'all, who's excited to be here? No one raised their hands. Regardless of how you answered, I do thank you tremendously for coming here today and being with us. It's an honor to be able to assist in justice. I imagine defense counsel is going to come up here and tell you today that there are lies, drugs, maybe the defendant had, or I'm sorry, the victim had acne on her face. But like we talked about yesterday, as we're going through for dire jury selection, that fancy word, the elements, and that is in Jefferson County, on or about September 2nd, 2020, the defendant, Aaron Jernigan, did intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly cause bodily injury to that complainant. And again, complainant, victim, you'll see those used synonymously throughout that trial. You're going to hear from two people today. That's Kayla McCarty, the victim herself. You're going to hear from Officer Trey Billingsley, who was the responding officer to the hospital. And here's what I anticipate the evidence will show. That evidence is going to tell you a story. And what I suggest, or what I expect it to show, is that in the early morning hours of September 2nd, 2020, Kayla McCarty, the victim in this case, receives a phone call. She has a friend calling all the way from Starks, Louisiana. Hey, can you pick me up? She's going to tell you that friend was Aaron Jernigan. Kayla, kind-hearted, she's going to tell you, yeah, I went out there. She's going to tell you he had a tool that belonged to me that was valuable to her. It's costly. She wanted to get it. Upon getting there, they reach an agreement. That agreement is, can you get me to Beaumont to my friend's house? Kayla says, sure, for gas money. I'm not going to ride all the way to Beaumont from Starks, Louisiana on E, am I? They start traveling. They stop at Rose City. There's a little truck stop there. You may know it, you may not. That's fine if you don't. An already agitated defendant, Aaron Jernigan, reaches over, grabs the key, turns it, pulls it out of the ignition, and walks inside. She didn't get gas. She's wondering, when am I gonna get that gas money you promised me? Instead, she's left in the vehicle. She has no key in her car. She couldn't go anywhere if she wanted to. Aaron Jernigan walks in the store. I imagine the evidence is going to show you that he comes out around that time. It so happened that a $20 bill may have slipped out, and she says, you know what, I'll use that last night. Evidence will probably show you as they start traveling into Beaumont. There's that Liberty College exit around that area. When you come under the underpass and you're curving around, an argument ensues. I can't tell you what that argument's over. The victim will testify. Talk to you. Around that time, like I said, we already have an agitated Aaron Jernigan. He reaches over and grabs her. And he slaps her on the mouth. I anticipate the evidence is going to show you a busted lip. You'll see that for yourself. We're driving at highway speeds. She can't just stop in the middle of a highway. She's got to keep driving. So she does, and she reaches that College Street exit. She still needs that gas, and that's the next place she's going. She needs that gas money. Her light's on, and she's got to get to a point to where she can get some gas in her car. Now, when you come off of College, you've got that four-way stop, you can veer off and go to the right, and go straight to that Chevron. She says, you know what, I'm going to go to that Chevron. I'm going to get the gas here. He didn't like that. He had another place he wanted to be. I anticipate the evidence is going to show you around that time when she's trying to drive straight through that light. He reaches over, grabs the wheel, and he jerks it. She never makes it to the gas station. Instead, in the middle of traffic, she has to come to a complete halt. And when she does, she is punched in the face with a closed fist by a man that she trusted. It's going to cause someone pain. It's going to scare them. And what does Jernigan do? He gets out of the vehicle immediately in open traffic and he flees. Why would he run? And let's get to the point where, you know, I fully anticipate, I'm not going to you. I don't think my victim will lie with you either. She is going to tell you that she was under the influence of some controlled substance. But I wanna leave you with this. Does that make her any less of a victim? Okay. I truly look forward to presenting this case to you, and thank you so much for your time and attention.
Mr. Cole, would like to make an open statement, or would like to reserve it?
I'll reserve you.
Okay. State, you can call your first witness.
They'd like to call Helen Party.
Yes. Ms. McCarty, please come forward. Ms. McCarty, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. McCarty, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Okay, Ms. McCarty, you may take the witness stand. Ms. Simmons, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Can you go ahead and state your name for the record for me, please?
Kayla Inez McCarty.
Okay. Kayla, where are you from?
I'm originally from Fred, Texas.
Okay. Do you live in the area now?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you always worked, about how long have you lived down here?
Probably about 5 or 6 years.
Okay. Do you recall the, or I guess I should say, the early morning hours of September 2nd of 2020?
I do.
Okay. And what were you doing on that day?
I was going to pick up a friend.
Okay. Do you see that friend in the courtroom today?
I do.
Okay, can you point to him and identify him by an article of clothing or by color of the clothing?
Yes, ma'am, he's wearing a white long sleeve shirt.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that the victim has identified the defendant, Aaron
The
Jernigan.
record will so reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
You said, did you receive a call to go pick up that friend that day?
Yes, ma'am,
Okay, and where did he live?
in Starks, Louisiana.
Okay, about how far was that from your home?
So I lived in Beaumont at the time, so give or take from Beaumont to Starks, I'm not sure exactly how far that is.
Okay, let me ask you this, how long had you known the defendant at that time?
We have been friends for a period of years.
On and off?
Yes, ma'am.
So whenever you drove out to Starks, did y'all have an agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
What was that agreement?
The agreement was he asked me to take him to a friend's house who lived on college. And with that, I did say yes, if he'd give me gas money, and that was the agreement.
Okay. So y'all started traveling to the Beaumont area once you picked him up.
That is correct.
Did y'all make any stops on the way?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did you
The
stop?
first stop was in Rose City. Where he.
I'm gonna slow down just a little bit, okay? So you stopped in Rose City at the truck stop,
That
right?
is correct.
Okay. Did you get out of the vehicle at that time?
No, ma'am.
Did Mr. Jernigan get out of the vehicle at that
Yes, ma'am.
time? How long was he inside?
Maybe like 20 minutes.
Were you able to leave?
I was not.
Why not?
He took the key out of the ignition and took it in with him.
Did you ever give him permission to take that key?
No, ma'am.
Around that time, was Aaron already agitated?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Was he mean towards you?
I'm sorry, yeah.
And did that stop, or did that start, I apologize, once you got to that bus stop
No,
in Rose City?
that started upon the time that I picked him up.
So from the time you picked him up in Starks, Louisiana, all the way up until Rose City, that little bus stop, he was already agitated.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Once he got out of the, I guess the truck stop, we'll call it the truck stop, and he returned to the vehicle, did you ask him anything?
I just asked him if he had the gas money. Because of course, the gas light was on, and then he didn't say he had it. So I continued to travel on.
Was your gas light on at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're traveling, you leave the truck stop, you're traveling back to the home.
No,
He was already agitated.
yes, ma'am.
Did an argument ever ensue?
An argument did start
About where at?
right before, okay, so like you're coming into Beaumont, like there's a turn right before you have to get all the way over to get to the Liberty exit.
Okay. So
Okay,
you kind of
so,
come under the underpass,
yes,
correct?
ma'am.
So when you're turning, is that when the argument started?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened when the argument started?
He grabbed me by the back of my neck first and slapped me in my mouth, which,
We're gonna slow down just a little bit. He grabbed you by the back of your neck, is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
Was he squeezing you rather hard?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're still driving?
Yes, ma'am.
About how fast are you going on the highway?
I'm sure I was doing the speed limit.
So pretty fast?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's early in the morning.
Yes, ma'am.
When he grabbed you by the neck, you then said he reached over.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what did he do when he reached over?
He slapped me. He slapped me in the mouth.
Did it cause you to bleed?
It did.
Did it cause you any pain?
It did.
Did you keep driving?
I did.
You had no choice?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When you kept driving, you said there was you're going on the highway, you had to get all the way over. Did you get all the way over at that point?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to the next exit?
I did.
What was that exit?
Liberty exit.
The Liberty exit?
Yes, ma'am.
When you take that exit, does it get you to College Street?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where were you going when you took College Street? Where were you trying to go?
Okay, so I had initially was gonna go to the next gas station, because like I said, my gas light was on.
Okay.
So there's a stoplight at the college park. And then I was gonna go straight, and he jerked the wheel
I'm
immediately.
gonna slow you down real quick. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You're at the stoplight, correct?
Mhm.
You're wanting to go straight.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever get to go through that light?
No, ma'am.
You said he grabbed your wheel.
Yes, ma'am.
Was it at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
So when he grabbed your wheel and tried to get you to stop, was he trying to get you to go right on College Street?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When he grabbed your wheel and caused you to jerk, then what happened?
It caused the car to go in park, or I shoved in a park. And he got out of, well, let me back up a second. Okay, so before the turn at some point, before the car got put in park, he punched me in the side of the face. And then at that point, he fled the vehicle.
So he fled the vehicle entirely.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see where he went?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever see him again after that?
No, ma'am.
So you didn't see him for the remainder of the
No,
night?
ma'am.
When he punched you, did it cause you pain?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that some trauma you still live with to this day?
Yes,
And this was in 2020,
that's correct.
close to going on 5 years ago, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes, you may.
I'm coming at you with the stack here, okay? I am handing what's been marked to you, States Exhibit 1 through 17. If you could, just look through those and take your time, there's no rush. What are those?
There are photos of the night the incident happened.
Okay, so do you recognize these photos?
I do.
Do they fairly and accurately depict, or does these photos fairly and accurately depict the events that took place that night?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me a little bit about, right here, I'm gonna grab this from you. On Exhibit 4, this is you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna tender it to Defense Counsel for inspection, just real quick.
No objection.
Robert, at this time, the state would like to offer exhibits 1 through 17 into evidence.
Okay.
Do we have permission?
No objections. States exhibits 1 through 17 are admitted. You may publish those photos to the jury.
Do you mind, Your Honor, if I have them passed around in the jury box?
No, that's fine.
Yeah, these. That's one.
One at a time,
Whatever works for y'all. Kayla, you've looked at those photographs, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you see in those photographs?
Pain, trauma. An incident that occurred. You know, that I still have to look back on.
When you're looking at these, you were able to see signs of injury.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you show me where you felt those injured?
Right here and then my top lip.
Okay, your top lip.
Yes,
You said it was bleeding.
yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna give them some time to look through these. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
While we're doing that, let's go ahead and move on to some questioning. We have the punch that happened at that College Street exit.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you go after that? When Jernigan had already fled the vehicle?
I then traveled down College. I stopped at Walgreens on College Street. And
What were you going to Walgreens for?
I was initially gonna go and use the restroom, but they told me I couldn't use the restroom.
Okay. You said whenever you got to that College Street exit, y'all were supposed to take a right.
Yes, ma'am.
What hospital did you report to?
Baptist.
Was that immediately after
Yes, ma'am.
you had stopped at Walgreens?
That is correct.
So you had to turn all the way around.
Yes, ma'am.
When you got to the hospital, what did you tell them?
I went in and let them know that, I had just been hit in the face and,
Did you go to the hospital with the sole purpose to report that assault?
I went to make sure that nothing was wrong with my face initially, because there was so much pain. And then I just followed with it.
When you went to the hospital and you had reported the assault, did anyone come out and meet with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and was it an officer?
It was an officer.
Just one more time. So Kayla, when you got to Baptist Hospital, we're still in Beaumont, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's in Jefferson County, correct? Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness at this time.
Okay, Mr. Cole, you may proceed.
What was your address at the time?
Can't remember now. Yes, sir.
If I told you that you told one of the officers that you lived in Vidor, would that surprise you? It wouldn't surprise you.
No, because I was staying in Vidor all the time.
So you was living in Vidor, or were you living in
I was
Beaumont?
living in Beaumont, but staying in Vidor.
I'm confused.
Okay, so I had a friend who lived in Vidor who I was staying with.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. And you said you were going to get a tool. What kind of tool?
It was a DeWalt tool set that was from Home Depot.
Are you a mechanic? How did you know the value of that tool?
Because I bought it from Home Depot.
How do you know Mr. Johnny?
We were friends for a while, worked friends for a while.
So you're very well aware of what he does for a living, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What does he do?
I mean, he's been a mechanic, he's done several different things.
Mechanic.
Yes, sir.
That drive from Beaumont or Vidor to Starks, Louisiana, I calculated it's about an hour and 9 minutes. That's what I got from both addresses, give or take 15 minutes. Does that sound about right to you? So we said you got there about 11 o'clock. 11:09, if you left at 10.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay. Then you drove all the way back. Right? You had to drive back.
Yes, sir.
So if you got there at 11, you would get back to Beaumont around what time? 12 or 15?
I can't recall exactly the time.
Okay. How long have you been clean?
Almost 2 years.
Congratulations. You went to the truck stop over there, and I guess you waited for him to ping. Is that correct?
I mean, I have an option, the key.
Did you get your tool?
No, sir.
You didn't get your tool.
No, sir.
So I guess what the question needs to be asked is, wasn't you calling him to get drugs?
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
That's incorrect.
You sure about that?
I'm positive.
Okay. Why was he upset again?
I mean, I'm not real sure what he was aggravated about. And it's been over 4 years, 5 years. I'm not sure.
Well, I got some video of you saying that he was mad because he wanted to ping, right? And he did ping, in fact, didn't he?
He did.
So why was he aggravated at you?
I mean, I guess because I didn't want to stop. I guess I wanted to make a straight shot to where he needed to go. I didn't want to stop.
Did you get any medical paperwork at the hospital?
Release paperwork?
Yeah, any medical paperwork.
Yes, sir.
Does the state have it?
I'll assume.
You know? What did they say? What was your diagnosis? Did they treat you any kind of ointment or pain pills or anything like that?
I believe so.
They did. And I think at the time, you were speaking to Officer, if he was one of these officers, Officer Wilson. He asked you was you able to provide him with any medical paperwork and you couldn't do it at that time. Is that right?
Your Honor, may I approach?
Now, it's okay if I get something on the screen here.
Yes.
Today is.
Time, if something's about to be played, there hasn't been a proper predicate that's been laid.
You gonna offer that as an exhibit?
Well, Your Honor, I'm offering it as Mrs. McCarty said some things that ain't quite true, and I'd like to use that to impeach you on the testimony. Now, there are officers who want to interview.
Okay, hold on, so, so you want to try to impeach her
Yes,
based
sir.
on a statement that she has previously
That's
made
right.
from the witness stand?
She made
Was it, are
it.
you saying that it's a prior inconsistent statement?
Well, I think you know when Your Honor, I'll fall back on it. I'll fall back, because it hadn't been properly authenticated. It was an interview that was done by Officer
Wilson.
Wilson. And he showed up at her residence and asked her a few questions. And some of those questions, she answered them, and when she said he understand today, didn't do it.
I mean, if you lay the proper predicate, you can, present the evidence. Okay, so with, objection will be sustained at this time.
We'll come back to it.
Okay.
Kevin, you ever done any TDC time? For what?
Injuries to the child.
And you also had a possession charge, is that correct?
That is correct.
And you also, lied to the police about your name. 35 years, that's also correct.
That is correct.
You said that you didn't have any gas, man. That you needed gas, right? You needed gas. When Aaron jumped out the car, you said he left some things in the floorboard. Okay, what was it? What all did he leave?
He left a $20 bill on the floorboard.
And his phone.
I don't know about the phone.
You don't know about the phone. Isn't it true that he called you because he realized he left his phone and that you took $400 off his cash app, and when he threatened you to call the police, that's when you went to the hospital? That's not true.
That is not true.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Another question for the witness, but I like to keep it.
Okay,
Yes.
Miss Simmons, you may
Just a few more questions. Your
cross,
Honor.
all right, recross. Read them.
You said you probably left around 10 to go to Starks. This was almost 5 years ago.
That's great.
Do you think it'd be hard to remember the exact time you left?
Yes, ma'am.
And I hate to ask this, but were you under the influence of any form of controlled substance at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you still remember the assault?
I do.
I'm gonna show you exhibit 16. That mark behind your ear.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that where Aaron had grabbed you?
That is correct.
The mark behind your ear where it kind of caused slight bruising, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this that same injury?
Yes, ma'am.
That's exhibit 9. Behind your ear?
Yes, ma'am.
Did that cause you pain?
Yes, ma'am.
This right here, busted lip on exhibit 12. And the bleeding. That's your lip, correct?
That is correct.
Did that cause you pain?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that from when he slapped you or punched you?
That's when he slapped me.
So this was the first incident where he had hit you.
That is correct.
Now let's go to this. This would be the right side of your face, I believe. This is you, correct?
That is correct.
Is there redness,
Yes, ma'am.
swelling?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that from the punch or the slap?
That's from-
And this is exhibit 4. He had slapped you on the highway coming into Beaumont in Jefferson County,
Yes, ma'am.
and then he proceeded to punch you later on when you got to that College Street exit.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you take anything from him?
Okay.
Is this something you have to live with daily?
Yes, ma'am.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Cole?
The rest right now, Your Honor.
Okay, you passed witness?
That's-
Okay. Now, Mr. Cole, you previously stated that you would like to, you don't want to release her, is that correct? Okay. So, Ms. McCarthy, you can, step down from the witness stand and you can go out, they may have a waiting room or a witness room that you can go to. Dave, would you like to call your next witness?
Yes, Your Honor. State calls Officer Trey Billingsley.
Trey Billingsley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Officer Billingsley, you may come forward. Officer Billingsley, would you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down and you can take the witness stand and adjust the mic.
You got it comfortable to where you need it? Okay. Good afternoon. Could you go ahead and state your name for the record for me?
Sergeant Trey Billingsley.
And who's your employer?
Beaumont Police Department.
Are you a certified police officer?
Yes.
How long have you been a certified police officer?
13 years, 8 months.
Have you been with Beaumont Police Department the entire time?
Yes.
Can you go ahead and tell me your role within the, know you said sergeant?
I was on patrol and been on patrol the whole time. And I just got, switched over to internal affairs.
Okay. What are some of your duties with the Beaumont Police Department currently?
Currently, now I'm doing investigations on citizen complaints and use of force and things like that that come in from the citizens against the officers.
Okay. Do you recall September 2nd, 2020?
Yes.
Were you on duty that day?
Yes.
Were your duties different at the time?
Yes, on patrol.
What were those duties?
Answering calls for service, throughout the city, different types of disturbances, wrecks, anything that comes through.
Did you get a call for service on September 2nd, 2020?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And where were you dispatched to?
Back to college,
Okay, college.
Baptist Hospital.
When you got to Baptist Hospital, were you met with anyone or did you meet anyone there?
Miss Cable.
Okay. And did she allege that an assault had occurred?
Yes.
Okay. Did you take a report from her at that time?
Yes, I did.
So you're in Beaumont when you're called out for assault is what she was alleging.
Yes.
That's in Jefferson County, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, can I go ahead and approach?
Yes.
I'm gonna hand you what's been marked exhibit, State's Exhibit 18. Do you recognize this? You can read it if you want.
Just a body worn camera.
Okay. Are you saying it contains your body worn camera?
Yes.
Okay. How was it recorded?
Camera system that, we wear every day.
Are you a cockpit operator of that device?
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to review this prior?
Yes.
Okay, is it a fairly and accurate depiction of what was depicted that day on those events?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'm gonna tender this to a defense for inspection.
No objection, Your Honor.
At this time, the state would like to offer State's Exhibit number 18.
Okay.
I have permission to publish, Your Honor.
Okay, State's Exhibit number 18 is admitted and you have permission to publish it to the jury.
I'll just go ahead and ask for the law.
You're gonna turn the lights off when she.
Going on with evening? I got punched in the face. I was supposed to bring a friend of mine to a friend of his right off of college. He was supposed to give me gas money. My gas light came on before I even exited, College Street. And so I let him know, he was already he's already got anger problems as it is. I could already tell that he was already edgy. So I let him know, hey, my gas light's on, I can't go much further. So I went to pull in the store and he yanked the wheel immediately, and I don't know if he hit kicked it out of gear or whatever. And so immediately, he turned and punched me. He got out of the vehicle and then from that point, I got straight here.
So it was just y'all two in the car? Where were y'all coming from?
I was coming from okay, you know where Rose City is? Like the truck stop right there? Okay, I was coming from there. And then I made it happened right in front of the new emergency center thing was right there. It happened right there.
Okay. You know, we're on the road and you were gonna pull into that Chevron there, and you yanked the whip before that,
Yeah,
before the gas station?
yeah, I had originally, when I got to this light, I originally went straight. It was gonna go straight
Mhm.
and then turn, but when he seen me not going the way that he said, then he immediately turned the wheel. Okay,
Trying to make you turn
Yeah.
the way he wanted to go.
and so I didn't have no choice then but to continue to do so.
Mhm.
And so that's when he planned to me. Well, hang on, let me back up. Okay, prior to that, when I took the Liberty exit,
Mhm.
he had already slapped me. I don't know if he slapped me or he punched me in the mouth, one of the two. So I grabbed my mouth like that, cause I thought it was bleeding. He was like, don't try to grab your mouth, think that it's bleeding. It's not fucking bleeding. And, I started crying, and so that was the first incident. And then the second incident was then,
Why was he all pissed off at you?
well, for one, he wanted to pee. And I was supposed to have just taken him there and I was gonna go on my way. That's not what happened. And so I was already gonna drop him off and just go. And if I could have got him out of my vehicle before then I would have done that.
Where were you supposed to drop him off at?
He has a friend of his that lives. I'm not even sure where she lives. All I know is her name.
But it's off of college.
I'm trying to remember a second. Okay, when you go, like you can go all the way down college.
Mhm.
And then, there's like a. Kind of like. It's like all the way to China. I'm trying to explain.
It's just out that way though, right?
Yeah.
So you were supposed to take him out that way. How did y'all both end up at? In Road City? Were y'all there together?
No, I got him. I went to see some other rhythm. See, I think, okay, I stand behind,
Mm-hmm.
originally, they in the car.
When got anything there. And then we stopped. And we didn't have to gas in the city. That's not what happened. Okay, so we went into King. He took my key out of the ignition. And then took the key in there with him. Okay, I went in there to ask him to get the key back. He refused to do it. By this time, I can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I can't do anything. So I had already figured this, when he gets back in the vehicle, as soon as I get him to where I'm going, I'm gonna go. If I can get him to get, yeah, I didn't have no gas, so I was gonna need gas somehow. But luckily with my vehicle, he left $20 in the floorboard, which got me gas either way.
Yeah.
I mean, it resulted in probably a damaged face, but,
Mm-hmm. How do you know him?
he used to be a really good friend.
Mhm.
There's been an incident before. I have a really big heart, and I believe that people can change. Oftentimes when people do me wrong, I continue to go back. More of like an idiot type thing.
Yeah.
Like I guess I asked for it in a way. And so, I don't mind doing for people, and that's exactly what I did.
So he called you up he called you up the first time to go pick him up, and then y'all ended up at the Greyhound. And then he went in pain, got out of there and started back this
I
way.
asked him where he needed me to take him.
And he got pissed off at some point in time between there and here. Hit or slapped you once. And then once you exited, grabbed the wheel so you can, to make you turn the way he wanted to go.
Yes, sir.
And then he hit you again.
He got out of the vehicle,
Mhm.
this
This was in the gas station parking lot.
no, we never made it there.
Oh,
Okay, there's a car dealership, like right there. There's White House and then there's like a car dealership.
mhm.
Okay. Going this way, somewhere in that area right there is where it happened.
Mhm.
He immediately got out of the vehicle. And then I immediately come straight here.
Okay. Where did he actually hit you at?
Right here.
Right around
Mm-hmm. And then. My mouth, I'm not sure. I'm not real sure. My nose got hit, but I know this side of my face did.
the eye. Mhm.
I know all that did.
Do you want to file charges on this fellow?
There's one thing I let it slide the first time it's ever happened, you know. Well, he didn't actually hit me the first time, it was just an altercation more like, I put that aside the first time. But the second time, and this time, it's like, you put a lot of pressure behind that, like you, and not only that, like it's like you have no remorse.
Your first name's Kayla, K-Y-L-A.
Yes, sir.
What's your last name?
McCarty, McCarty.
Your date of birth,
10/4/90.
address.
It's gonna be 4075 Laurel Street. Apartment 59. Walnut, Texas. 77707.
Phone number for you.
It's gonna be 409
Mhm.
279 7067.
You work anywhere?
Not currently.
And what is this fellow's name?
Aaron Jernigan,
How do you spell Aaron?
AARON.
Spell that last name for me.
Jernigan is, oh, excuse me, Jernigan.
You know his birthday? No, yeah. Yeah, on Facebook or anything? Birthday on me.
Yeah, I don't even have Facebook.
No.
Let me, and this is,
What's his phone number?
it's gonna be. It's gonna be 409
Mhm.
790 5650.
Where does he live at?
He lives in. He's gonna be, I don't know. How, Okay, so it's off of Bass Lake Road and starts. Okay, so we're not. Let's see if I can try.
Did you plug in his address when you went
Yeah,
there?
and that's what I'm looking at to see if how. Okay, so. If I'm going from here, right? Wait, no. No, but it is plugged in, but it's like it doesn't show me anything. Yeah. Then something.
Tonight,
Okay, so. This. That's all this. That,
it wasn't, is it 11?
that, well, I don't know what that rating is. That's usually the only thing. And then it will. Like, tell me, when I get to it. I'm trying to find the crossroad in between. So it's easier to show you.
See, white, black,
Mhm.
all,
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know how much you do. Okay.
Is that Jack? It's hard. Um. And so I was judging them. Right? And be like. Yeah.
What color hair?
He's got, it's like reddish. I'm trying to see. I don't think I can use the new phone.
You know what color his eyes are? Working on your. Somebody let me out.
Yeah.
One up there. Casey Terrence and Cindy Lowe's on Friday.
It's 416-734, 96734, 113, 141.
And Forest Golf. And, that's gonna be in, room 32.
And I didn't answer that phone call, so that phone call was at 12:47.
Alright. About 12:30. Someone email if you have it. State what you want to file for it. Oh, okay. One of these witness statements. Either way, victim's name, so be your name again, fill out here as much as you can, his name, all that kind of stuff. You have lines here, plenty of lines on the back. If you use the back, sign on the back, if not, at least sign here, okay? You have 10 days to get this back to us, you can turn it in, you can mail it in. Once you get it done, you can call us back and we'll come pick it up, however you wanna do it, okay? You don't have to worry about doing it tonight, okay? This right here is your case number, 2020-16-734. If you have any questions or anything, you can let me know, that's right here, about that, okay? Take your pen now. And my ID tech, she's gonna come take pictures of your face within the next probably 30-45 minutes, okay? And show her where, you know, inside the lip, all that kind of stuff. You can still tell that everything's red and that side's swollen, so. All right, you have any questions or anything?
So during your investigation at the hospital, Officer Billingsley, how many times did you think the alleged you had been assaulted?
Twice.
Did you see injuries?
It appeared there was some redness and swelling on my face.
Right, were there any other injuries that you may have saw at that time? No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Cole, you may proceed.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, officer. How you doing? I noticed your line of questioning, and you asked them how did they end up at the bus stop right there, right?
I guess so.
What do you know about that truck stop, that store right there? Do you know anything about it?
That's the Greyhound bus station.
Greyhound bus station?
Mhm.
Do you know the terminology pinging? Do you know what that means?
Yes, they play 8 liners.
They play A-liners in there? And did you do anything in narcotics in your experience? Have you ever dealt with that?
No, not directly.
Not directly. Okay. You said that you noticed some swelling and some bruising on her face a little bit.
It appeared red as well, yeah.
Very swelling. Are you aware of how methamphetamine metabolizes through the system?
No, I didn't.
Did you get a medical report?
No, I did not.
Did you talk to a doctor?
Nope.
Did anybody approach you?
Nope.
How many assault cases have you shown up to the hospital for?
Numbers.
Do they usually come with a medical report or a doctor?
I don't get medical reports, no.
You don't get medical reports, not even the doctor to speak to you.
If it's serious enough, then yes.
It's serious.
Yeah. If it's life threatening, then we'll talk to one of the doctors.
Normally, does the hospital call you or the patient?
It depends.
It depends. No further questions?
Ms. Simmons?
I have no further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Okay, may this witness be excused? And Sergeant Billingsley, you are excused. You may step down from the witness stand. State, you can call your next witness.
This time, state rest, Your Honor.
Mr. Cole?
Yes, I'm in Morgan Stadium.
Yes.
Yes. Oh. Okay, we got through that. How y'all doing? Y'all want to stand up and stretch a little bit, everybody? Everybody good? This is, gonna take a lot of thought here, man. The state was so adamant about, you know, no physical injury. We don't need physical injury to have a assault. And this is because there was no physical injury, there was no assault. What you have here is a meth addict who did not get her drugs and who's mad at my client because he decided that, hey, I'm not giving you no dope. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hop out your car right here and I'm gone. And so he leaves. As he's leaving, he realizes that, hey, I dropped some money and I dropped my cell phone in her car. Well, he calls her from a friend's house and tells her, hey, I want my money, cell phone. But she actually had taken some money off his cash app and cashed out it to herself. And he tells her he's gonna call the police. Well, next thing you know, she pops up at Baptist Hospital. Saying, hey, this guy assaulted me. Mindful she's already on probation. Be mindful she's already known liar. I'm gonna let my client speak. I'm gonna put him on the stand. Normally I don't do that. I'm gonna let him talk if he wants to. He's not the squeakiest clean person, but you discern the truth. May take the stand, y'all.
Okay, at this time, approach the bench. Mr. Cole, you may proceed.
I'd like to call Aaron Jernigan, y'all.
Jernigan, would you please come forward? Mr. Jernigan, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Jernigan, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Mr. Jernigan, you may put your hand down. You can take the witness stand in just a minute. Mr. Cole, you may proceed.
Aaron, state your name for the court reporter
Aaron Jernigan,
and your date of birth.
6/19/87.
Okay. Let's do some housekeeping real quick. You're no stranger to danger, is that correct?
Say so.
Okay. And as a matter of fact, you're here today because you wanted your chance to speak the truth, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did Kayla McCarty call you?
Yes, you did.
About what time?
Earlier in the afternoon. I would say like, 5:30, 4:30 or 5:30, 6 maybe.
Why did she call you?
She asked me for a favor.
What kind of favor?
She wanted me to get her some drugs.
That's right. And you agreed?
I did.
Okay. So she gets to your house, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What happens then?
Well, yeah, the AC was out of my Suburban, so I told her to come if she could come pick me up. So she does. She comes pick me up, and we start heading to Walmart.
Did you mention anything about a tool to you?
No, sir.
Have you ever known her to have tools? So she picks you up and y'all head, which way do y'all go?
We take Highway 12 and Highway 12 meets I-10.
That's right.
So it's just easier it just makes more sense. It's quicker to go Highway 12 if we're coming to Walmart.
Did you make any stops along the way?
We did.
Where did you stop at on 12?
I want to say it's 11:32, but we stopped at it's either a Mobil or an Exxon, a gas station. Cause she didn't need gas, so we stopped. And I told her to pump the gas. I went inside to pay for it, and when I paid for the gas, I went around to the room and I pinged.
And explain to you don't mind explaining what ping is?
It's like gambling on like a machine, he said an 8-liner,
Yeah.
that's
Okay. How long did you stay there?
quick enough to lose $20, you know what I mean? Bro, so probably like 15, I don't know, wasn't long, I wasn't in that long.
Were you upset about anything that day?
I don't know,
Agitated, irritable?
another day.
Just another day?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get done pinging and you come outside.
Mhm.
What happens then?
She asked me if I was in there pagan, and I said, yeah. Uh, she kind of got irritated,
Why do you suppose she got irritated?
just prolonging what she needed to happen.
I agree. Okay. So you get in the vehicle and y'all head where?
Toward Beaumont.
Towards Beaumont.
Yes.
What's going on? Are you driving to Beaumont?
Oh, we're just kind of, bickering back and forth. Nothing too serious. Just kind of talking shit to each other.
Okay.
She is irritated that I was pinging. We were arguing. It wasn't nothing serious though. We were just bickering, I guess you could say. Word for it.
Okay. She testified that she got off and she's getting ready to take the College Street exit. Do you know what she's talking about?
Yeah.
Why were y'all heading that way?
Well, because that's where we were headed. We were headed to 23rd Street.
So
So you
23rd Street, you'd have to make a right on College. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Coming on that one?
Yes.
So it's College and 23rd.
College and 23rd.
What's behind the neighborhood of 23rd and College?
Well, we were headed to a neighborhood. If you take a left on 23rd, that's where we were headed, to a neighborhood back there.
To get what?
So
Okay. Did you ever force her to turn that way?
no, sir.
All right. So when did you make your mind up that you're done?
We stopped at the red light on College and 23rd.
What made you come up to this decision?
I just got tired of hearing the shit. Excuse me. I got tired of hearing, I just got out the car. I just figured, I had a friend of mine that lived down the road. So instead of getting her what she needed, I just got out the car and I walked to a friend of mine's house.
How long was that walk?
Well, I don't know. It got dark on me by then.
By the time you got to your friend's house?
Yeah.
When you hopped out the car and you got to your friend's house, did you realize you left anything?
Well, I realized pretty quick that I left my phone there.
You left your phone?
Yes, sir. I had my phone in between my legs, and when I jumped out the car, phone stayed.
And then what'd you do?
When I realized it was gone,
Yeah.
I tried to make it. I still went where I was going, and when I got there, I started calling her, telling her to bring me my phone back.
And what did she say?
Well, she wouldn't answer for a while, and then when I finally got a hold of her, she said no. You know what I mean?
Did you realize any money was missing?
Yes, yeah, off my cash app. I signed into it from my friend's phone, and I realized that all my money was going off my cash app.
Did you make any threats?
Yeah, I told her don't give a whole lot.
So you would call the police?
I probably wouldn't have, but I did tell her that. Yeah, I did threaten to call the cops.
And do you believe that's why she went to?
Yeah, because it was a while. You know what I mean? We were going back and forth, and she didn't immediately. I think that's why she went there. Yeah. Once I threatened to call the cops. Yeah.
Look at the jury. Did you ever put your hands on them?
I didn't. I did not put my hands on. I did not.
Okay.
Put my hands on.
Y'all had arguments before?
Yeah.
Okay.
One other time we kind of got into it. Yes.
Okay. And she got out your vehicle, right?
All right. I told her to get out of my vehicle. Yeah.
But did you turn around?
I did turn around because I felt bad.
Did you pick her back up?
I tried.
Did she get in the car?
No, sir.
Okay. You wrote a letter to the court
Yes, sir.
and you asked them the time served you on this and you plead guilty. Is that correct?
I did.
Why?
Because I was in prison and I just wanted. I mean, my record's not the cleanest already, so I didn't I wasn't really worried about this, but now, I was already locked up and I had detainers. When I came home, I didn't want to have to deal with this. I wanted to be free, you know what I mean? But, now that they didn't honor the time served and my pleaded guilty, and, now I want to take care of it the right way.
So you could have been done with this,
Good, I guess.
but you wanted your day in court.
I do. I never got my phone back. I never got the money back off my Cash App, which is okay. I'm fine with it, right?
Objection as scenario, Your Honor, there was no question asked.
Okay.
Objection sustained.
Did you ever get your money back?
No, sir.
Did you ever get your cell phone back? Okay. That's the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Simmons, you may proceed.
You said you wrote a letter to this state, is that correct?
I did, yes, ma'am.
And you're asking for a time served offer.
I did.
Would it surprise you that the state offered you that?
No,
Did you reject that offer?
I did.
In fact, in the letter to the state, you said you would plead guilty, correct?
I did.
But you chose not to,
Yes,
after the state was willing to proceed with that offer, correct?
yes.
First question asked from Mr. Cole. He said, "You're no stranger to danger." What does that mean?
I mean, I've been in prison. That's what I kind of took it as,
What'd you go to prison for? What were you in for?
or robbery.
Let's go back to the facts of this case here, okay? You said you stopped at a mobile gas station.
Yes.
Did I hear that right? Where was that at?
Highway 12 and 1132, I believe, across the road.
You then say when you got to the Rose City bus stop, you were never agitated, right?
We never stopped in Rose City.
In fact, you're saying Caleb was agitated.
We never stopped in Rose City.
Would you, please, I'm gonna go back. You said Caleb was agitated, correct? You
When we,
testified just now that Caleb was even agitated.
when we left the store on Highway 12.
Would you not agree this is a bunch of he said, she said?
Well, that's kind of what it is, yeah.
Okay, but then you go on and testify that y'all were bickering, is that right?
Yeah, when I came out, yes,
But you weren't agitated.
I wasn't agitated.
You always bicker with your friends?
Absolutely not.
Does bickering cause a busted lip?
No, I don't guess so.
Does bickering cause swelling to the face?
No,
If I were to show you pictures of the injuries, would you be shocked?
sure, I haven't seen,
When you picked up Kayla that day, did she have any injuries to her face?
not that I was there.
I'm gonna show you State's Exhibit 4. You see the redness and the swelling on the right side of her face?
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna show you State's Exhibit number 12. Do you see the busted lip? You just testified you saw no injuries on her face at the time that she went to pick you up, correct?
I mean, her face is kind of blotchy like
One
that.
moment, one moment,
It don't really look like an injury.
one moment.
Yes, sir.
You then testified that whenever you had fled the vehicle, and you're trying to get to your friend's house, it got dark on you, right? It
Yes,
was already nighttime when she picked you up, wasn't it?
no. It wasn't even nighttime when I got out of the car. It was still daylight.
When you made it back into Beaumont, you're telling me it was light outside.
Yes, ma'am. I walked to Berry Street from the time that I got out of the car on 23rd.
Objection, Your Honor. There was no question asked.
Objection sustained.
You said you left your phone in Kayla's car.
I
when you
did.
fled.
That's one.
Do you have a lock on your phone?
I did.
So she would have been able to grab it and go through it.
Yes,
Did you know Kayla's phone number by heart?
yes.
You did. So how long from the time you fled the vehicle to get to your alleged friend's house or wherever it is you went until you had called her? You said you called Kayla, right?
Yes.
To get everything back?
Yes,
And you're claiming she had stolen money from you at this time?
yes.
When you fled your vehicle, there was still no injuries to her face?
No.
But you were here when she testified, correct?
Yes,
She went straight to the hospital after she had been injured. She had stopped for a restroom break, right? She testified to that, right?
yes.
And then she went straight to the hospital, correct? This event that you're here for today took place on September 2nd of 2020, is that right? That sound about right to you?
Sure.
Let me get here one moment, Mr. Jernigan. This is State's Exhibit number 2. Do you see that wristband here?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read that admit date for me?
Yes.
Okay, what date is that?
9/2/2020.
Said y'all were bickering, but it wasn't nothing serious.
Right.
You're still testifying that you did not hit her.
I did not put my hand on.
You never saw injuries to her face when you picked her up. Why would she go to the hospital?
Guessing because I told her I was gonna call the.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Cole, you may proceed.
Once again, you took Highway 12, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You stopped at a gas station on Highway 12 and you're thinking 11:32.
Yes, sir.
You gave her the money and you put gas in the car, is that correct?
I went and paid for the gas while she pumped it.
While she pumped it.
Yeah,
And then you went to go pink.
I did.
And when you come out from pinking, she's frustrated
Yes.
because she didn't pink.
Yeah, I guess so. That, guess so prolonging where, she wanted to go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Never went to Rose City.
we did not stop at Rose City.
And as a matter of fact, Rose City, you'd have to be going back east. Is that correct?
Yeah, right, you would have to,
Yeah.
yes, you do have to turn around.
You have to turn around,
You
go
don't
back toward Louisiana.
Right.
Yeah. So you never went to Rose City.
never stop at Rose City.
You took Highway 12, got on 10.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay. And the drugs you were going to get was off College and 23rd,
Yes, sir.
the neighborhood on 23rd.
Yes, sir.
And you hopped out on College and the intersection of 23rd.
Yes, sir. When we were supposed to take a left, I got out.
That's right, because you were tired of having it.
Yeah, I guess in spite, I kind of got out and didn't do what she needed to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any further question?
State has no further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Jernigan,
Yes, sir.
you may step down. Back to council's table. Mr. Cole? You have
Next
another
question.
Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the state of the defense is rested. We're gonna take a break. So, you can stand, follow the bailiff out into the hallway. Y'all may see. Yeah, everyone please stand as the jury enters the courtroom. Yes. You may be seated. You understand it. Okay. You may be seated. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session. The cause number M327-588. Case is style of state of Texas versus Aaron Jernigan. Let the record reflect that Mr. Jernigan is present in court with his attorney, Attorney Giles Gold. State is present with Assistant District Attorneys, Attorney Andrew Hubel, and Attorney Haley Simmons. Let the record also reflect that the jury is now present and seated in the courtroom. Okay. Members of the jury, both the defense and the state have rested their cases. So therefore, the court has to prepare a charge. Once that charge is prepared, both the state and the defense we will have what is called a charge conference. And then after the charge conference, then they will have closing arguments. And then once the closing arguments end, the case will be turned over to you to deliberate. Now, that is not going to happen today. And so therefore, we need to have you back on tomorrow at 1:30. And by that time, when you come back at 1:30, we would have already had prepared the charge, already had our charge conference. Okay? So you will be excused for the evening. Will everyone please stand? And you can follow the bailiff. And everyone have a blessed day. Okay. At this time, the court will be in recess till tomorrow, 1:30.